Single arm bear scap push-up. You're gonna get in a bear position for this, and we want to think about making sure that we're staying as stable as possible through our trunk. So what we don't wanna do as we're going through this movement is sacrifice movement at our thoracic spine or our upper body or at our pelvis. So we don't want the pelvis to move forward or back or side to side. What you're gonna do is have one hand underneath your shoulder. Do your best to not totally lock out your elbow, okay? So just like tiny bend in the elbow, but we wanna make sure that we're not relying on our joints and make our muscles do as much work as possible, okay? So make sure that you can kind of feel all the points of your hand. We don't wanna be rolling way out on the outside or rolling way down on the inside. As far as your core goes, we just wanna make sure that we exhale, kind of get those lower ribs to come down, feel some nice obliques on. Exhale, get tension from the bottom up so we've got some support through the deep core. You don't need to be overly tucked here, so we don't need a slope coming down the tailbone, nor do we need to kind of like let everything go. So just find that tiny twerk in the middle that is your neutral and feels good from you. Now from here, you're gonna take your opposite hand, and I like to just put it behind my head because it really helps me to have a little bit more reference about what my upper body is doing. And I find that if I tend to like let it rest down on the other side, then I'll tend to rely on it some. And we really want to make sure that we're using all of this right here to be able to complete this movement. So you're going to have your other hand on your head, and what we want to think about is you're going to let your upper body come down. So I like to think about letting the girls come down towards my elbow, okay? So I let my chest come down, and then I'm gonna push up. My goal is for my shoulder blade to move around my rib cage. So I don't want my shoulder blade to just stay in the same spot and be kind of doing these like little jerky motions and bouncing up and down. This is a really purposeful movement where you should feel kind of like your chest move down, and then you push till you can get your shoulder blade to come around your rib cage. And what's happening is that your serratus anterior muscle is pulling as you're pushing. That's the muscle that's kind of right here, and that is what we're using to help make this movement happen. So make sure that when you're in this bear position, you're gonna have your other hand behind your head. You're gonna come down and make sure you're not in too much of an anterior tilt like I just was. Nice deep core on, and from here, you're gonna exhale, push. You can get some nice deep core on at the same time. You want to make sure that you don't cave in and crunch down as you're trying to push up. So think about keeping everything in your torso, your neck nice and long, and then you're just gonna come down again from there and push. If you're feeling super extra, like super extra, you can try doing this hovering your knees. I find that is really hard, but you do you. If that feels like a good challenge for you, then go for it. But make sure that you feel super confident with your knees on the ground first before progressing into that. All right, that is your single arm bear scap push-up.